What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and today it is time that we discuss why Republicans need to target the Gen Z demographic. Yep, is this really a complicated subject? Because I'm getting really irritated by many Republicans just across the board. I mean, you have losers like this, bashing Gen Z and, expecting them to vote, yada yada. Guys, Gen Z is the future electorate of America. It is time we focus on them now, not 30 years down the line, now. Because every day that we let the Democrats just monopolize these Gen Z voters, the harder it's going to be for Republicans to win in the future. I am getting just frustrated with so many of these clown Republicans like this, who say Generation Z is the most fascist generation in U.S. history. What? Excuse me. You are expecting to win these voters. These are the future voters of the country. These are the voters that in probably like 10 years or so are going to be the vast majority of voters. So instead of trying to appeal to them, you decide to bash them. Why? It's just frustrating with some of these people on the right that we need to discuss, first of all, why it's stupid to bash voters like this, and secondly, how can Republicans actually win this younger generation of voters? Because clearly it's not working right now. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below. Of course, go follow the Real American Politics on Twitter. It's a great account. I recommend you go follow it. Of course, go follow the Rumble page for exclusive content. And of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $3 a month, you could join Real American, which is a phenomenal deal, as it helps support the daily content we all know and love. You love the daily content? Well, this is the best way to support it. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, so, like I said, I'm irritated, to say the least, about some of these people that, mind you, they're running the Republican Party. Generation Z is the most fascist. What are you trying to do? And she's the founder of ACT for America? Act for America? Whatever. I call ACT. It's a clown organization. Either way, you're the founder and you're going to bash the future voters? Are you dumb? Look, I think it was in 2022, I believe just under 50% of voters were Gen Z or millennial voters. Just under. And instead of trying to appeal to them, you call them the most fascist generation in U.S. history. First of all, based on what? Secondly, why do you think they're more progressive than other generations? Why? You know what I think it is? Because they get lied to about if they vote for the progressive candidate, they have a better future. They're going to have a better life down the line. Sure, the progressive movement's full of shit, but they're promising them something. Conservatives have done nothing to these voters. And there's been two philosophies developing within the Republican Party to how we can win the Gen Z vote. Firstly, and this worked so swell in 2022, was try to outflank the Democrats on the left from social issues. We have Republicans that seriously think if we shift to the left, surely this will win the Gen Z vote. No, it won't. If you just shift further to the left on social issues, you isolate your original base, and you may win one extra progressive voter. Whoop-de-frickin-do, but lose 5 rural working class voters in the process. I mean, that is stupid. And the second philosophy is scream socialism. Here's the thing, though, about Gen Z. they are more left-leaning on economic issues. So bashing socialism, that's not going to help you. I'm not saying they all support socialism. I'm just saying that a decent chunk of them, I should say the vast majority, probably are leaning to the left compared to past generations on economics. So bashing socialism, that's not going to work. It hasn't worked, never will. The only voter that appeals to is a Cuban voter from Miami. And that's about it. Maybe some Venezuelans, maybe Puerto Ricans, etc. But that's it. You can't just bash Gen Z or want to outflank the Democrats and the left or just run on socialism. None of it's worked. So Republicans have to get serious about this because we're running out of time. Gen Z in probably 10 years is going to be the biggest electorate. Let's be real here, probably 10, 20 years. If we don't start now, it's over. We don't have a country in 20 years. So Republicans need to get their act together. And there's multiple things we can do. All right? I would say the most obvious one is deal with this. Deal with the college debt crisis. Look, I understand there's like probably 10% of people that go get student loans and stuff. They get some absurd $400,000 in loans for some gender study. That's one thing. But the vast majority of younger people that go to college, they do go for serious education. The vast majority of them do. Yes, a chunk of them party and don't care for 4 years, but the vast majority do go for a real education. It's just a fact. And look at this. To go to a private 4-year college, it's $33,000, and that's just the tuition and stuff. Guys, it costs $33,000. That's just a bare minimum. This is probably being generous. Let's be real here. It probably costs a lot more. Same thing with public 4 years, over $10,000. So Republicans have to get serious on this front. Stop attacking voters for getting a college loan. Yes, 10% of them you can mock because they're idiots when it comes to signing $400,000 in loans. But a vast majority of them, they sign it trying to get a real education because they can't afford it now, and they get trapped. That's the vast majority of people. And attacking people that get loans, that's not helping anybody. That's just going to hurt you even more. So how can we deal with this? Well, firstly, we need to tackle the real issue. The fact these universities are just turning to money laundering schemes. Let's be real here. These endowments they're getting. I mean, Harvard got like $50 billion in endowments. I believe it was something like that. Yet, like, none of it goes to the schools. It's a scam. So the first thing we got to do is do investigations to see where is this money going. It's just vanishing to thin air. These endowments that private investors give to these universities, they just vanish. So that's the bare minimum. We got to do real investigations, push for transparency so you know exactly where the money is going. That alone will solve a decent chunk of the issue. But the second thing, why aren't Republicans encouraging people to go to 2-year colleges? Go for 2-year degrees. Go for trade school. Go for, a regular job degree. Why don't they push that? Apprenticeships, etc. Republicans, only a couple of Republicans I've heard talk about this. They just refuse to discuss the idea of, you know what, we should probably push people to go to these trade schools, go to, 2-year degrees, go for stuff that is cheaper and at the long run makes you more money. Republicans have to be encouraging that. Push for incentives. Maybe push for public community college to be free. Whatever. But you got to encourage people not to go for these 5-6 year, these ludicrous degrees for 20 years or whatever. I know that's an exaggeration, but still. Instead, go for these 2-year degrees or apprenticeships. So they get in the workforce right away, they make good money, and they don't got a lot of debt. There's got to be some incentives to do. Maybe, You push for free community college, which I personally support. Also, just transparency. Those are the two bare minimum things you can do. I mean, how is that socialist to promote, trade school and promote for, apprenticeships and maybe push for a free community college? I don't get how that's some communist or whatever. So that's the first thing. And a lot of Gen Z voters, they do want to go to college for a serious degree, like I'm saying. So attacking these voters as morons for signing their debts, again, 10-20% of them, yeah, they're complete idiots. They got $100,000 in loans for a gender study degree. That's one thing. But somebody that's trying to, try to actually get education, they have to pay this much, that's a different story. So that's the bare minimum. And there's other things you can do. And I think Republicans, one thing that they have failed to do constantly over and over again is discuss the issue of the environment. Now, this article by The Hill a couple weeks ago, it discusses how Gen Z is overwhelmingly aligned with Democrats on gun control, abortion, yada yada. But there's one issue, in my opinion, that could be a secret weapon: the environment. Gen Z, for their faults, they do care for the environment. The majority. I'm not talking about the losers like Greta that they pretend to care for the environment. Instead, they grift off everybody. Everybody must, not be able to use cars. They cannot eat meat. That's not the majority of Gen Z. The vast majority of Gen Z, they want, our rivers to be clean. They want our oceans to be clean. They want our forests to be not crapshoots. They want everything to have a clean environment. Not this climate change cult. And it's conservative to care for the environment. Teddy Roosevelt did it. And arguably he's one of the best presidents. So Republicans have to focus on environment, not climate change. Focus on cleaning up the environment. Focus on nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is the best source of energy outside of maybe fusion energy, whatever you want to call it. And it's perfect. It is great. It produces a lot of power. It's one of the cleanest sources of energy. Don't promote windmills. Those are scams. And they're killing a lot of birds or hurting the environment more than helping. Solar panels? It's one thing if it's, on top of somebody's house. That's one thing, Somebody wants to invest in a solar panel on their house. Fine. But it's another to build these solar farms that take up 60 miles. Push for people that, have a tax credit, like a real tax credit, not some scam where, or I should say tax deduction where, you totally get $50,000 just for getting a Tesla. No, there should be an incentive to go for solar. And I know there is an incentive that you can sell back part of your energy to the government, whatever. So that's part of it. Focus on the environment. But there's one more thing that I think a lot of people are just ignoring. Mental health. Gen Z has, out of any generation, the worst mental health crisis potentially ever. Gen Z is about twice as likely as Americans over 25 to battle depression and have feelings of hopelessness. That's true. Gen Z, a lot of them they think they're screwed. That what's going to happen in 10 years? They're not going to have a good job. They're probably going to work, some crappy job at McDonald's for $5 an hour. And it's sad. A lot of Gen Z people really think that we are in a terrible time. And for progressive folks, they're promising them a better future. That we're going to promote a real healthcare system so you don't get screwed over. We're going to promote, jobs. We're going to promote a better country, a cleaner environment. What do conservatives do? What do they promise them? What? They don't promise them anything. Gen Z is 3 times as likely, 21 to 18% to 7.5% to 5%, to say their challenges are so severe that they thought they might be better off dead. I mean, this is a serious problem. We need to invest into mental health. And I'm not talking about the crap they're doing in the inner cities where we're going to send social workers to a stabbing. I'm talking about, okay, will it pay for you to go see a therapist? That's that kind of stuff. And not put them on 50 pills every day. That's causing more problems than it is. Yes, medicine every now and again is fine. But what we're doing is we're drugging up people, making them have serious problems, and causing bigger issues. And this one stunned me. 1/5, aka 20% of Gen Z, knows someone who committed suicide. How many of these people are scarred because of it? Because they know a loved one they know is gone forever. I mean, can we focus on this? I mean, how is any of the things I'm talking about today socialist? It has a broad appeal not only to Gen Z, but it does help Gen Z, in my opinion, will give them a better chance of voting Republican, but also helps everybody. Everybody supports reforming the college system. It's a scam. People support a clean environment, not the climate change nonsense, and people support mental health reform. Not giving everybody 50 pills worth of medicine every day just because, they have a headache. They need 50 pills. No, focus on the fact they need help. So, and not just trying to say that what he actually has is a good thing and we have to embrace it. It's just terrible. It's terrible what's happening, and these are issues that are so freaking simple that in, an 18-minute long video, I just discussed them. Where's the Republican Party on this? 3 things that are not socialist. 3 things. And these are so simple, everybody approves of it. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.